Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pattison Podcast with me, Mike Missinelli, and my cohort, Anthony Sanfilippo. And, of course, we are brought to us by the good folks at the law firm of Wapner Newman in the City of Champions. You deserve champion legal representation. That is Wapner Newman. Hello, Ann. How you doing today?
Good, Mike. It's good to be back with you after last week. You
took a powder last week. You got a little, respite.
Well, I had to do a little hockey last week. So
a little hockey, and I did it with Bob Cooney. We were live remote, and we had a good time out there at the Temperance House in Newtown, PA. So baseball is upon us. Yesterday, of course, pitchers and catchers report. This is day 2 today, and I guess the news of the day is that Zach Wheeler is throwing, not pitching, but throwing at least. Andrew Painter has no restrictions, so he's throwing freely. Castellanos is still on the team. Aiden Miller has a really good locker right next to Bryce Harper. Zach Wheeler's rib bone is on his shelf somewhere in his house. And other than that, what else? What other newsy tidbits do we have coming out of Phillydom?
That was the weirdest thing, right? Like out of that whole conversation, I watched that whole video of Wheeler. That's the first time Wheeler's spoken to the media, since the whole thing happened 6 months ago. And like, what leads to the conversation of, oh yeah, they gave me my rib and I put it in a box and it's in my closet at home. Like,
I first of all, would you want one of your own body parts?
No,
I wouldn't want it either. Why would you keep the rib?
It's just weird, man.
It's very weird. But in any event, I guess it's good news. I mean, you watch the video of him throwing; he looks like he's throwing free and easy.
Yeah, well, that's good news. I mean, but he's not going to be ready for opening day. And so, that's the big question to me, Mike. Like, okay, he's not going to be ready opening day. They say soon thereafter, so probably sometime in April. Maybe he misses 3 or 4 starts through the rotation, whatever. But you look at the rest of the rotation. Obviously, you're comfortable with Sanchez and Luzardo. Aaron Nola, you hope he's much better than he was last year, but you don't know, right? You hope he's better.
Yeah.
Andrew Painter, who we don't know if he could pitch at this level. We'll see. And Taijuan Walker, and then there's nothing behind that. And so I still think that they need to add a veteran arm in some capacity, even if it's more for depth, if it's a guy who, maybe you can start in the minors because he didn't get a contract and then you can call him up or whatever. But I think they need more because the next name after that is like Alan Ronhell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't have a lot of depth in starting pitching, and that's really a situation. When Wheeler comes back, they'll be fine. But if he's not, then you're talking about 3 starters that you can rely on. The back four, number 5, you can't really rely on. But Rob Thomson made an interesting observation. He said that the Phillies are better now at this time than they were last year. And as a guy who covers the Phillies, I was wondering how you felt about that. I guess he's basing that basically on they added Duran and Keller. And they lost Ranger, and they're going with an unproven rookie, and they're going with a platoon in left field with a guy who's kind of been a career minor leaguer in Otto Kemp. So I don't know. How would you answer that question? Are they better now on paper than they were last year at this time?
I don't think so. I mean, the bullpen is certainly better, and that was the big
Duran alone makes them better, right?
Right. And Keller too. I mean, I think Keller it's getting sold short a little bit here. I think he had a really, really good year for the Cubs last year. Yeah. Once he transitioned from being a starter to a reliever, he's found his niche. That's a nice pickup. So if you look at it and say, if you think, well, the Phillies are the same team they were a year ago, but they improved their bullpen, I can understand why you would think that if you're Rob Thomson, that you think they're a little bit better. But I still submit that there are so many things that they need to have go right or work out for them to be better than they were at this time a year ago. It's not just the bullpen. We just talked about the starting rotation. Adolis Garcia has to be better than Nick Castellanos in right field. And I don't just mean defensively, because the lineup is still weak after the top 3 guys. He's got to contribute in that lineup. You need Justin Crawford to be an impact rookie, not a, oh my God, all-star rookie of the year, but at least an impact in a sense that he's not hurting you. You need Bryce Harper to be Bryce Harper and not the guy who was starting to fall off a little bit last year. Yeah, you need a lot of things to start to go. You need that platoon of Marsh and Kemp to go right? I mean, there's a lot of things you say, well, yeah, if this all happens, well, then yes, they can be better. But are they? I don't think they all will.
Well, do me a favor, rank in priority their 5 biggest question marks in priority. What is their number one thing that's a question mark in your mind?
Their outfield. To me,
it's the same old story. Their outfield was suspect last year coming in.
Yeah. I mean,
although Castellanos came into last year not the Castellanos we think of now.
Correct.
Like he came in, as a viable player for them.
Correct. I agree with you. And like I said, I've already have the red flag about the starting pitching depth, but I think that there's still enough good starting pitching that it's not the biggest concern. But the outfield is the biggest concern because you don't know what Justin Crawford's going to be. I mean, here's a guy, Mike, that up until the last 2 months of last year had a ground ball hit rate of 61%. 61% of his contact was hitting the ball into the ground. Now, yes, he hit 330, and that's great, but he wasn't driving the ball at all. There's no pop there. He got better at the end of the season, so you're hoping that translates. But how much does it translate at the major league level? I don't know.
Your number one priority is the outfield. Second would be your starting rotation.
No. Second would be that I'm not 100% certain that Alec Boehm and Bryson Stott can both be what you need them to be. So Boehm needs to get back to being the player he was the first half of 24.
Yeah.
When he was an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
He did it for 3 months and then he never did it again. Now he had some injuries last year, whatever, but that's the player he needs to be. I'm not sure he can be that. Bryson Stott needs to be the player he was the second half of last year. At least that one's a little bit more recent. I have a little bit more confidence in that. But to me, that's 2 spots in your lineup that you need a little bit of production from. And if they give you mediocre to below average, that's going to hurt you because your lineup just isn't good enough. So that would be number 2. And then it gets to the starting pitching depth would be number 3.
Okay. So that's your top 3.
Yeah.
For me, Garcia is a big question mark. Like I have no idea whether he's going to be any better than Nick Castellanos. I'm almost thinking that he's going to be a disappointment right out of the gate. And I don't know why I'm thinking that, but guys that are passed around like that, I don't know if they have a quick resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you because it's been 2 years of bad offense with him. He automatically makes you better defensively in right field.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a plus. I don't know how important of a plus it is, right, in the grand scheme of things, but it's important enough. The one thing I could sit there and say, you're taking a flyer on this guy, is in Citizens Bank Park, he'll have a better chance of hitting into a few lucky home runs.
Uh-huh. Fly balls that go out. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he does. The one thing that's different between him and Castellanos is last year, Castellanos he had a bunch of singles, but just because he got his bat on the ball, but they were weak hits. So you say, all right, credit to him getting the bat on the ball, and he blooped it over the infield for a single. Garcia at least drives the ball. He makes a lot of outs. He strikes out a lot too. But when he makes contact, he does drive the ball. So maybe you'll get, instead of 15 home runs like you got from Castellanos, maybe you get 25. And if you get that, that's an improvement. That's enough.
Well, I tell you, 25, I don't see it all. But I cross my fingers that you're right.
It's a failure if it's less than 20.
Yeah.
Out of Garcia. It really is. That's not good.
I got you. So now let's look at the cleanup spot in this lineup, because you just mentioned Boehm.
Yeah.
Does he return to that spot?
What's the alternative? Garcia is the alternative, and I'm not sure he's that. Like, what's the alternative?
So Boehm gets it by default, a cleanup hitter in the lineup is by default?
So the only other thing you could conceivably do, and I don't think it's a smart thing to do, but you could conceivably drop Schwarber to clean up, right? But then you don't have the guy who was the runner-up in the MVP race hitting out of the 2-hole last year. There's a chance he doesn't bat in the first inning.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. Right? Because you could maybe put Bohm ahead of Harper or between Harper and Schwarber, whatever. Like you could do that, put him like high because he's a contact guy. He doesn't strike out a ton. Like you could do that. But then I don't like having Schwarber that far down the lineup. Like he needs the bat in the first inning.
Yeah, he can't hit cleanup on this team. He's got to get up in the first inning. He's got to give them a lift in the first inning.
It's a problem. It's a real problem.
It really is a problem.
And then you hope, I mean, look, maybe Garcia figures out some of the mistakes that he was making, playing some hero ball in Texas the last couple of years where he's trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. Maybe he doesn't feel like he has to do that with a Schwarber and a Harper on the team now. And maybe you find something there and then he can kind of become that cleanup hitter for you again. But yeah, I mean, it's a concern, Mike. There's the 4 through 9 in this lineup is like, you get a little cringy at times when you look at it.
Let me ask you about the right-handed pop off the bench, which they really don't seem to have other than you got Sosa. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think they lack a little right-handed late-inning pop.
Yeah, Kemp is the guy. I mean, that's
he's going to have to be your guy.
That's who they're leaning on for a right-handed guy. Yeah, it's missing. Well, any kind of pop off the bench is really missing because really when you think about it, your 4 bench guys are going to be Sosa, Kemp, probably Marchand as the backup catcher, and then there's a battle for the last spot, whether that's the guy Dylan Moore that they signed, who was a utility player for the Seattle Mariners last year. He could play 7 positions, so maybe that he gets that last spot because of his versatility. Maybe you go with one of the depth outfielders that they brought in, Brian De La Cruz, who was the first signing of the offseason on a minor league deal. He's hit 20 home runs in the majors before with the Marlins a few years ago. Yeah. Maybe he gets that spot as a right-handed option off the bench. Pedro Leon is another guy that get kind of brought in. He could play some center field. Maybe it's Rojas. I mean, Rojas is playing for the Dominican Republic, Mike, in the World Baseball Classic. I was stunned that he got put on that team.
Yeah, he's going to be a key player for it. Well, who else would you put in center field for the Dominican team?
Well, he's not going to start.
He's probably the best center fielder they have in the Dominican.
I don't know. I think there's probably I got to look at their whole roster. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there's some.
All right. Speaking of the World Baseball Classic, you got a lot of guys that are involved in that, and I know a concern of yours is whether that hurts the Phillies in the beginning of the season. Speak to that a little bit.
Well, let's remember 3 years ago, the last time that they had the World Baseball Classic, Phillies had a number of players participate in it at that time. I mean, if you remember, that was the winter they signed Trey Turner, and Trey Turner went into that World Baseball Classic and was a superstar in that thing. And like everybody was like, oh my God, look at the guy we're getting. And then he wasn't good until August that year, right? He really struggled. But he wasn't alone. Like a lot of Phillies struggled at the start of 23. Schwarber wasn't hitting at the start of 23. Ranger Suarez got hurt in the World Baseball Classic, didn't start until middle of May. And then I think that was his worst statistical year. Taijuan Walker pitched for Mexico, didn't do well. I remember even Garrett Stubbs got hurt playing for Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic and was kind of like hobbled a little bit at the beginning of the season. And I worry that when you have that many guys missing time, and this year it's even worse, you have 11 full-time players.
Yeah.
You have 12 men on the 40-man roster, 16 guys total, including minor leaguers that are going to be playing as part of it. I know not every team is tied up for the entire 3 weeks of the World Baseball Classic, but you got a bunch of guys who are just not going to be in spring training doing things on your schedule, and you're going to be playing a little bit of catch-up. Yeah, they're playing baseball, but they're not around the team. They're not in the routine that you're doing every day. Like, I just worry that kind of leads to a slow start for a season. And there's a lot of Phillies involved. That scares me a little bit.
I mean, it's a legitimate concern. I mean, you can't take that lightly, especially if guys get banged up. Was it Turner that was on fire, and then when he started the season, he kind of went off the rails?
Yeah. That was the standing ovation. Remember the whole standing ovation?
Standing ovation.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like, that's the thing. It was like, here's a guy who had a great tournament and then didn't do anything for you. I don't know if it's like a little bit
it's almost like you look great in the home run derby, then when you come back, you can't hit.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's a little bit. Look, athletes are very regimented people. Maybe you ramp it up and the emotions get high and the stakes are high in a tournament like that, and then it's over and you come back and you're playing exhibition games, right? Mm-hmm. And so like the mindset, like where does the mind go?
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, now the season's beginning. Oh, the slog, and you've had that big. You're coming down off of that high of being in that tournament, that it takes a little bit to kind of get back to caring enough again, right? I don't know how else to express it. I just think that that's a thing, Mike, and I worry that could impact this Phillies team.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm kind of concerned about that as well, because you're so keyed up to play well. You're so keyed up to give your all in that World Baseball Classic, and you come back and then you go, okay, we got to go through the motions here for the rest of spring training. Play these exhibition games or whatever, or don't play the exhibition games. But in any event, you can join the chat, by the way.
Yes.
The chat is, you just click on the chat and let's see, do we have any comments so far?
Yeah, we got a few.
We got a few. Oh yeah, we got plenty.
Yeah.
Let's
a lot of these guys are talking to each other, which is good. That's good that they're talking to each other.
Yeah, they're talking to each other.
Yeah, that's great. But here we go. E.G. Butler 114 says
there's problems clutch hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For the last couple of years, it has been.
Yeah. Ford says Harper's older, Turner's older, both likely to be injured for a period of time. Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, but that's with everybody.
Yeah.
That's just not indigenous to the Phillies.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We have not heard one mention of Rojas, by the way, in spring training here. So
we'll have to ask Tim about that.
We'll have to ask Tim. Tim Kelly also covered the Phillies from on Pattison. Will join us in a little bit. So let's take our first break.
Yep.
And of course, we brought to us by Wapner Newman. Winners win. Wapner Newman's been winning for families throughout Philadelphia and New Jersey since 1978. You need a winner? Call Wapner Newman. Here's the number: 215-569-0900, or visit wapnernewman.com. That's WAPNERNEWMAN.com. Coming up on Pattison's Tim Kelly on the Phillies right after this.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Bring your party to Chicky and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickyandpete's.com for details. Chicky and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
All righty, back on the Pattison Podcast with Mike Missinelli, Anthony Sanfilippo, and our next guest who covers the Phillies. He's an executive also with Pattison. Interestingly enough, both the guys I'm doing the podcast with can fire me at any moment. So Tim Kelly joins us from Clearwater, live from Clearwater. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know that I have the authority to fire you. Anthony might. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have that.
I think you might have it. So in Clearwater today, the second day, pitchers and catchers, what observations do you have?
Well, today was pretty uneventful. Nobody threw a bullpen today. They did some PFPs, so it was a pretty uneventful day today. More guys are going to throw bullpens tomorrow. I would say Aiden Miller's here, Justin Crawford's here. That's really been the story so far this spring between them, Andrew Painter. I think waiting on that, and obviously waiting to see what ultimately is the resolution here with Nick Castellanos.
I got breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news? What do you got?
The Phillies have just announced that they have released Nick Castellanos.
Oh, they've released him.
They've flat out released him.
Wow. Now, I didn't think they were going to do that. I thought they would wait for somebody to get injured in spring training and then make a deal somewhere. So, Tim, is that the right move?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the only move at this point. If no one had emerged, and there's a plane going over my head right now if it sounds loud, if nobody had emerged to this point, I don't think it was going to happen. And, I mean, ultimately they held out quite a long time waiting to see if a trade partner would emerge, and it just didn't happen. So I think from the moment you had the situation in Miami last summer where he was pulled for a game, this is the direction it was headed.
Are you surprised it took this long, though, Tim? Like, I mean, they probably knew last week that there wasn't a trade partner. Yeah, why wait until everybody kind of gets started with spring training and gets down there and makes it a story for 2 to 3 days? Like, why not get it done last week and just say, let's release them beforehand so we can put it all behind us once everybody gets here.
Yeah, and I did wonder if that possibly would happen last week. I'm not sure, and I would assume Dave Dombrowski or Rob Thomson will talk at some point later today about that, and we'll get a clearer answer. You're right. I mean, I understand why people feel that they probably just should have let him go last week. In the end, he was getting let go. I don't think there was a trade partner, and now they move forward, and I think it's probably the best thing for both sides.
You know, Anthony, you were talking about all the hamate bones that have been broken over the past couple of days. I mean, I would have thought that somebody would have acknowledged Nick Castellanos' presence to fill in one of those gaps. No, because that can happen. That can happen at any time. You know, and the injury can happen at any time.
The fact that nobody has done that, I think, is indicative of where things stand right now and what the view is around the league. He had a bad year last year, not only defensively but offensively. And there were some moments publicly that we saw spill out where he was frustrated with Rob Thomson and made that clear through press conferences and whatnot. His wife was also very vocal on Twitter. And I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine we'll learn some more stuff now that he's no longer on the team. So I would say reserve your judgment potentially until we hear the whole story here.
Tim, Rob Thomson said that they're better right now on paper. Right now than they were at the same time last year. Do you agree?
No, I don't. But I think part of that is that you're leaving open the space for Andrew Painter, for Aiden Miller, for Justin Crawford, and that comes with a level of uncertainty that maybe you didn't have a year ago. But for years you've been talking, not you, but the people have been talking about the Phillies need to bring up and develop prospects. Part of doing that sometimes is leaving the door open for younger guys to have a chance to play. And that's not only those three, it's Otto Kemp getting more consistent at bats, maybe Gabriel Rincones down the stretch. So I don't think they're better than they were a year ago, but I don't think it's as significant of a drop off as other people do either.
Yeah, I was saying, Tim, to Mike earlier before you hopped on, that in order for them to be better than they were a year ago, they need a lot of things to work out. And it just seems like it's too much to ask for that to be better. Like, you can't expect 5 different things that you are planning for to all work. Like that doesn't usually happen. Something usually is not as you expected it, right? And I think that that's why, I struggle to agree with Rob saying that.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is just like, what is he going to say? We're worse than last year. We're the same as last year. Of course, at the beginning of spring training, you're going to say you're better. And I think there's reasons for optimism. I know there's a lot of pessimistic people right now. I think there's reasons for optimism when we talk about some of those younger guys, the chance for Bryce Harper having a better season. But without a doubt, there's concerns with this team that particularly, I heard you guys talking before I came on, with that middle of the order and what happens in the lineup after you get through Turner, Harper, and Schwarber in whatever order.
What about starting pitching depth? I mean, obviously you got to talk to Zach Wheeler a little bit yesterday, and I want to ask you about the surprise of him keeping his rib. What your reaction was to that, because that kind of floored me a little bit when you put that video out. But what do you think he's at? Like, how much time are you thinking about for him potentially missing? And do they need to add something else to be safe? Because the starting pitching depth looks a little thin to me.
Yeah, I don't think it would hurt to add another guy. Walker Buehler, somebody that we've talked about that could be a potential fit this or this spring. It just depends on what other. It depends what other opportunities he's going to have. The Phillies don't have a ton to offer. Like, in the best case scenario, you're signing a guy and he makes 3 or 4 starts and then goes to the bullpen the rest of the season. So guys with options are going to go elsewhere. I do think, though, that adding another veteran on a low guaranteed deal, that could make some sense. As far as Wheeler, he's not going to be ready for opening day and is just kind of taking it day by day from there. I'd say if by like the Kentucky Derby, if he's rounding into shape and ready to go, I think that's a pretty good target date for him. And he's going to be 36 this season. So in a way, it could be kind of a blessing to not have him pitch a full workload in the regular season.
Tim, give me your 3 top questions going in here in the spring training for the Phillies.
Well, I think one of them is Castellanos. So that question has now been answered. I would say just that trio of young players, Aiden Miller, Justin Crawford, and Andrew Painter, what do they ultimately look like? And the other one, I'll go with a bit of a dark horse of, do they get an extension done? Do they try to get an extension done with Jesus Luzardo? Because there's a chance if you wait until after the season, it's going to be significantly more expensive. You're taking a risk because he's had an injury history. But if he pitches like he did last year or is even better and is on the right side of 30 going into free agency, you're talking about $175 to $200 million next offseason.
Tim, we got a question from Brandon on X. You talked about Walker Buehler. He said the name of Zach Littell has come up. What do you think of him?
It's a good name. I just think he'll have better opportunities because he pitched pretty well. Not after he got traded to Cincinnati, but when he was with Tampa Bay, he pitched well last year. So I would imagine he can go somewhere where there's at least the chance he makes 15 to 20 starts, and that just doesn't exist here unless you have multiple injuries.
Yeah, and I think that the starter that the Phillies end up looking for, like Buehler, has to be a guy who could be flexible enough to flip into the bullpen as a long man. And I'm not sure Zach Littell fits that mold.
Yeah, and I don't know if Walker Buehler does, but you're going to take what opportunities you can get. Walker Buehler has not pitched well since coming back from Tommy John surgery. So a situation like this where he did pitch well in a very small role down the stretch, maybe coming back here and working with Caleb Topham is good for him.
Yeah.
What's the atmosphere down there? Like, do they have the look of a winner? Pitchers and catchers, do they have that vibe?
It's a positive atmosphere. You're starting to see some other guys show up. Kyle Schwarber showed up today. Edmundo Sosa's been here. Brandon Marsh. So I think it's a positive atmosphere, and a lot's been made, I guess, of the locker arrangement with Aiden Miller being in between some of the stars, Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford. So I do feel like it's something we haven't seen in Philly since I was a little kid, in terms of like having the chance to have 2 or 3 impact prospects come up in the same season. It is a different energy than we've experienced. And for as much as people talk about running it back, I think they run it back less this year than they did the past couple, probably.
Well, one question I wanted to ask you about the Aiden Miller thing. When Rob talked about, the positions that he's going to play in spring training, What was the first position that came out of his mouth?
I believe it was shortstop. It will be third. Yes.
Okay.
Shortstop and third base will be those two positions. We'll see what happens with that. I think he was taking ground balls at shortstop today. I think third base is the one that he actually has a path to playing at these next few, at least for this season. Second base is one that could potentially be an option. Left field, unlikely this season, but we'll see. I do have to run, though, guys, because Dave is about to talk.
Yeah, go talk,
Timmy.
You got it.
All right. Tim Kelly covering the Phillies down there in spring training. Wow, he was out of there in a blink.
Yes.
Who's talking right now?
Dombrowski.
Oh, Dombrowski's talking.
Yeah,
they're going to talk about Castellanos. The release.
That literally, I got the alert from the Phillies. So the Phillies have just a kind of little inside baseball here. Phillies have a special Twitter account that is just for the media. So they send us an alert before they announce anything publicly.
Okay.
And so I have it, on my phone. All of a sudden I saw it pop up as Tim was there that the Phillies have released Nick Castellanos. So obviously within 10 minutes, they're getting Dombrowski to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. So financially, what does that mean for the Phillies?
Well, they're eating $20 million is what it really means. And when you think about
whoever
it,
signs him at the minimum,
probably, because he's making $20 million regardless, right?
Yeah.
So now you could take a flyer on him for nothing if you're another team. And then you're paying Adolis Garcia $10 million. So in essence, you're paying $30 million for your right fielder.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I really didn't expect that to happen. I know it's awkward that he was still part of the team, but I still would have held on to him. There's always an injury that can happen, Ant.
I hear you. I think that they determined that the negative
vibe,
the negative publicity, the negative everything, is outweighed the desire to hold on to him to potentially get something. So, yeah. Right. Apparently, Castellanos was putting out a letter. I'll try and find it. If you want to take a break, I'll try and find it.
He's putting out a letter to thank the Philly fans.
I don't know. I'm getting text messages about the letter.
Oh, okay. Well, then hang in there because we'll have that, but we'll also talk about the Eagles and maybe being without two important parts of their offensive line, the Sixers and their power rankings, and the Olympics. Are you watching the Olympics? We'll discuss. We're brought to us by Wapner Newman. Found yourself on the injured list? Get help now. Call Wapner Newman, PA, and New Jersey's premier medical malpractice and injury attorneys. 215-569-0900 or WapnerNewman.com. The On Pattison Podcast continues with Mike Missinelli and Anthony Sanfilippo. Eagles talk after this. Back after this.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills is looking for auto techs, all skill levels. Here's a chance to work for a locally owned family business that offers many benefits. For more information, call the service director, John Damarotis, at 215-943-6200. That's 215-943-6200, or visit any Peruzzi service department.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Well, there was a Super Bowl a few days ago. This is the Pattison Podcast. I'm Mike Missinelli. He's Anthony Sanfilippo. Your thoughts on the Super Bowl, Ant? Were you entertained?
It sucked. The game was terrible, Mike.
Right, horrible game. Horrible.
It was awful. It was. I was thinking about it, like it was the worst quarterback matchup since Trent Dilfer versus Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty. And
yeah,
I think
Darnold made a few more plays than the other guy, though.
Yeah, I think Drake May is going to be a good quarterback. It was the stage
overmatched.
Way too big for him.
Yeah, way overmatched in that game.
Yeah.
So, but everything else with the Super Bowl that we follow, right? The commercials.
Yeah.
Were you down with the commercials?
Yeah, they were okay.
They were okay. Well, I happen to have the ad meter here from USA Today, which always goes so if we go now to the number one commercial, what do you think it was? What was the one that really stuck out for you?
Now you're making me think. That was 5 days ago, Mike.
All right, so I'll give it to you. It was the Budweiser where 30-second journey from a Clydesdale foal named Jake.
Oh, yeah, with the eagle?
No, that was another one. But I liked that one as well. That was a good one. That
was a good one. I
like the Eagle was a really good one.
Yeah, I thought the Eagle was
Lay's good. Number 2 is Lay's the Little Farmer. This little girl who's in there who has a mission of growing a potato, and it was in a storm and the whole bit. Did you remember that one?
Yeah, that was good.
There was the Michelob Ultra, the Ultra Hustle, which packed with stars of Willem Dafoe, Catherine O'Hara, Sabrina Ionescu, Randy Moss, Ryan Krauser. That finished third on the ad meter. Stella Artois, David and Dave. That was David Beckham and Matt Damon, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
Number 5 was the NFL Somebody, starring Demario Davis, Arik Armstead, Adam Thielen, and kids across New Orleans. Very touching. NFL Flag 50 was number 6. Bud Light Big Men on the Cul-de-Sac was number 7. Shane Gillis, Post Malone, and Peyton Manning was in that commercial. Uber Eats, A Century of Cravings, Matthew McConaughey and his Bears sweater. Number 9 was Hellman's, When Sally Met Hellman's, which was that classic scene from When Sally, whatever that movie was called, where New Orgasm at the diner. And number 10, Pfizer Knockout, Fight Against Cancer, with Michael Buffer lending his signature catchphrase while LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out set the tone. So there you go.
There you go. That's good.
Now, let's get to the halftime show.
Yes.
Bad Bunny in a very well choreographed and angled situation with the cameraman and everything. Going through the sugar cane, the whole bit, replicating a Puerto Rican wedding. What did you think of Bad Bunny?
So here's the thing, and because I know it was such a political issue, and I don't want to look at it from the political perspective. I look at it from, and I'll say this up front, I don't know one Bad Bunny song. I don't think I will ever listen to a Bad Bunny song intentionally. Like I won't go, let me go put one on. But I am someone who has a theater background.
Yeah.
And I thought that the presentation of that halftime show was out of this world. I thought it was
I totally agree.
really well done. It was staged really well. It was very entertaining. I don't know if you have ever seen In the Heights.
I'm aware of In the Heights.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's first musical before Hamilton, right? And then they made it into a movie. So it's a movie. It's a good movie too. This had a lot of that In the Heights kind of feel to it, and I really thought it was well produced, well done.
Yeah, I did too. The camera angles, the shifting of the cameras, all that stuff was perfect.
Yeah,
it was in perfect sync. So whoever produced that did a great job. Whoever directed it did a great job. The one thing I thought could have happened was that the translation of Bad Bunny's songs in English to an English watching crowd. I know a little bit of Spanish, but you couldn't really follow along because by the time the Spanish came up on the screen in dubs, he was way like 3 bars past it.
Right.
So you didn't know what he was trying to actually say. Had they translated it in English with dubs, I thought it would have been very valuable for a TV audience.
I think that would have been a good thing. I guess the concern was there might have been some language.
Well,
that you might not want to put up on your screen.
Well, that's where got to be. Translator has to be on the hot seat there. All right. Anyway,
do you want to get to this Castellanos letter?
Oh, you got the letter?
So this is the best part about it, Mike. It was handwritten. So he took 4 photographs it's 4 pieces of loose leaf, and he hand wrote this letter.
Ah.
So that's what we have, right?
Nice. Well, at least he did it.
Yes. And so I'm gonna read it, and if you don't mind,
read it.
Indulge me, because like I said, it's
okay.
Go
ahead.
It's 4 pieces of paper, right? And there's 2 things that he wrote. One that he wrote to Philadelphia, and one that he titled "The Miami Incident." All right, so there's 2 different things. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's the letter to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, to John, thank you for what you have provided my family with. Dave, thank you for the opportunity. Staff, thank you for helping me prepare. Paco, who's Paco Figueroa, the first base coach, outfield coach. 4-on-4 is just as much yours as it is mine. You are the man in any room you walk into. My teammates, I love you guys. Te quiero mucho. Playing with you all will be a core memory for the rest of my life. To the people of the city, thank you for showing up these past 4 years, applauding or booing. You were there. Remember the sharp attention and powerful passion you have for your sports teams are not married to the lens of media companies that cover them. The color of your collective soul is your own to paint together. And then he signs off. Above all, thank you for embracing Liam the way you did. For that, I can never repay. To all who are reading, I wish you strong health and peace of mind. Nicholas.
Did I miss something? He did not mention Rob Thomson.
Did not.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So now here's the Miami incident. So this is what he talks about. This one's a little bit more detailed. I'm reading it for the first time myself, so I apologize if it's not the cleanest reading. Okay, apparently I need to address the Miami incident. As one of my friends on the team has informed me, there is an article waiting to come out without my consent of comments about this situation, and I'm going to just share it myself. As a veteran of the game of baseball, there are rules, and I broke one in Miami. After being taken out of a close ball game in front of my friends and family, I brought a Presidente into the dugout. Oh, I then sat right next to Rob, and I let him know that too much slack in some areas and too tight of restrictions in others are not conducive to us winning. Shout out to my teammates and Howie, I think that's his Howie, for taking the beer out of my hands before I could take a sip. I appreciate you guys. After the game, I went into the office with Dave and Rob. We aired out our differences and the conversation, and with me apologizing for letting my emotions get the best of me. I would like to note that I was ready to share the details of the incident in its entirety to the media the next day, but was instructed not to by management. The punishment I received for my actions was the benching the following game. I love this game. I love being a teammate, and I am addicted to winning. I will learn from this.
Interesting. So he tried to bring a beer into the dugout.
Yes.
What now? On what God's green earth would he think that would be appropriate? Seriously, like I don't get it. Like some guys, their thought process, like that's so defiant of him to think of doing that.
Correct.
Like, but he also cursed out the manager. He didn't mention anything about that, right?
No, he said he let him know how he felt that there was, certain things were let go and other things were too strict. Like he was letting the manager know his feelings. He didn't say specifically what he said, but
it's astounding to me. A major league player could think it would be appropriate to take a beer into the dugout.
Like, what do you like?
I mean,
while
really,
the game's going on,
think about that for a second. I mean, that's just absurd.
Yeah, as Ford with a great line.
I'll be honest with you. One game being benched does not nearly tell the tale of what he did.
No, it does not. And Ford with a great line. So Castellanos will be the A.J. Brown for the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm flabbergasted here.
Yeah,
like, did he really have to admit that?
I don't know. I don't know what story he's talking about that's coming out. I have not seen it. Maybe it came out while we're here on the air in the middle of
trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to get ahead of whatever's coming out.
Because the story would have mentioned that.
Probably.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. In any event, we're back to Eagle talk before we get to our next break. So let me ask you this, Anthony, because Landon Dickerson now is contemplating retiring. We know Lane is contemplating it.
Yeah.
Could this be influenced by the fact that Stoutland is no longer there? Like these guys are going, you know what? I've been banged up enough. Now I have to learn a whole new system under a young dude. Like I just don't have the heart for it anymore. Could that be at work here?
I think so. Maybe more so for Landon, because Lane Johnson's been hinting at this for before. Like it wasn't before they lost Stoutland. Like even last year, there was some thought about it. And they said, no, I'm coming back. I still got more to give, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So at least it's been discussed with him before. It has not been discussed with Landon Dickerson. I think that name's surprises people a little bit more because he's only 27 years old or 28 years old, whatever he is. But maybe, that's a guy you go, man, I've been beat up enough. And now I don't know, do I want to put my body through all that again and learn something new? Like I would do it for Jeff Stoutland. I'm not sure I would do it for this guy who I don't even know who came in from Minnesota.
I mean, that's pretty telling, man. The Eagles' offensive line, once really together unit, now fragmented, they're going to have to draft somebody that almost can start for them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think that I felt like they were going to be drafting offensive linemen this year regardless in this draft. It's not a great draft overall. So, guys like that are going to be the targets, I think, because you don't have great skill position guys in the draft. But now I think that they absolutely have to do it in the first round. Whereas before I kind of thought they could maybe go second, third round, get guys that are still, guys who can come in and play. And as E.G. Butler points out, we didn't even mention it, Cam Jurgens is banged up too. I mean, not nearly as bad as the other two, but he is. And I wonder, it's like you got to go and draft these guys. Are you able to fill the other holes that you're going to have this season on that team? I don't know. I don't know what's going to become of this, because what happens if you end up trading A.J. Brown? Are you good with just Devontae Smith? Like,
no, you can't be. Now,
who's your tight end?
You brought up A.J. Brown because this is another thing I wanted to discuss. There's a report from a national NFL writer out there that says the Eagles within the next 2 weeks will decide whether he's going or staying. Where do you think that's going to come out?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that was Diana Rossini, I think, had that report.
Yeah, Diana Rossini, yeah.
Yeah. Look, we've talked about this before, Mike. I think you keep A.J. Brown because of who he is, right? Because of the talent that he has. And you got to figure it out. And maybe your new plan with the offensive coordinator and the new passing game coordinator and how things are going to work, maybe they get him the ball a little bit more. But if the fact that they're still thinking about it and they're still talking about it makes me lean more toward they're going to go in the direction of trading him. And if they do, now you have another issue on offense, because now you're light at wide receiver. Now you're light on the offensive line. You need another running back that's different than Saquon, a different kind of back than Saquon. I like Tank Bigsby, but I think that they're too similar, right? Like you need a change of pace kind of guy.
Agreed.
And there's still some things you can do on defense. Yeah, defense is young and exciting, but there's still a couple spots. They got that second corner. The depth in the secondary is not good. Like, there's positions that you need to fill, and then there's the kicker, right? Like, you joke about the kickers all the time, but I think Jake Elliott's at the end. Like, there's a lot that you have to fill, and if you have all these guys just suddenly stopping to play on the offensive line, well, man, like now it just seems like it's a burden to fill all these spots in one off season.
Eagles, by the way, next year to win the Super Bowl. Where do you think they rank team-wise as far as what place?
Well, they're certainly going to still be top 10, right?
Yep.
7.
4th.
Well, that's better than I thought.
Plus 1,100.
That's better than I thought.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And, of course, the other news is Chris Cooper is the new offensive line coach. Not the actor Chris Cooper.
Yeah.
Chris is spelled with a K. Kuper. His offensive lines over the last couple of years with the teams he's been with have not fared very well.
No. I don't look. He was with Minnesota, right? Like last year, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and Minnesota went out and spent, like, they went and got Penn State kid Will Smith, right? Last year. He was in Indianapolis and or Will Fries, not Will Smith. Will Fries. Who was with Indianapolis and went to Minnesota. And I thought that they felt like they were going to improve their offensive line. And he's a good player, but the offensive line still struggled. So I don't know. Like, what does that tell you?
Yeah, I hear you. All right. So just quickly on the Sixers. In the latest power rankings, they had them ranked. This is before last night's demolishing by the New York Knicks. There's an incredible trend when you come off a long road trip, which the Sixers were on, where they went 3-1. That next game, that first game home, you're really sluggish, and the Sixers were not even in it last night. But the All-Star week is coming up. They're ranked now 12th in the power rankings. Are you impressed by the Sixers at this point?
I was very upset with how they handled the deadline, Mike.
I know you were. You didn't like Daryl Morey came out and had all kinds of BS.
Yes.
But
yes, I was not happy with that. Look, I'm not opposed to. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, Jared McCain, they should have been playing him. And he goes to Oklahoma City and he's looked good in his first few games there. It's not even that. Like, he was clearly the fourth guard here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to move him for draft picks and then you don't bring anything else in to help the team, it just looks like you were just trying to save Josh Harris money.
And that's exactly what most people think.
Because you got under the luxury tax, right? Yeah. And that, to me, is a problem, because this is a team that has the ability, I think, Mike, in the Eastern Conference to challenge the teams at the top of the conference.
Yeah.
And if you just brought in like one more piece with a healthy Embiid, with Paul George when he gets back from suspension, with Maxey playing, at the level that he's at, I think that there's something there. But now I'm like, I just look at it and go, man, if one guy gets hurt, they're toast. They have nothing, right?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back because I want to talk about the Olympics with you. You are not a fan, and I'm a total fan. I like the Summer Olympics more than the winter, but I've been glued to almost every event here for the Olympics. So it's the On Pattison Podcast with me, Mike Missinelli, and Anthony Sanfilippo. Quick break, and we're back after this.
4 to 6. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies Wings, delicious pieces, scrumptious hot, cold, or fried shrimp, jumbo soft pretzel with a trio of tasty dips, plus $3 domestic bottles, $6 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. Come join our happy hour weekdays 4 to 6. Come taste and enjoy. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Your house isn't just a home. It's a powerful tool that allows you to do more. With the Penn Community Bank Home Equity Loan, you can unlock your home's potential to finance whatever life throws your way. Receive reliable funding with fixed monthly payments to tackle home projects, consolidate high-interest debt, or cover big expenses. Take advantage of annual percentage rates as low as 5.24% today. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home equity to get started. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Terms and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Back on Pattison Podcast with Missinelli and San Filippo, as we are referred to on the chat board, the Paisans. We're doing the show, the Paisans show, which is fine. The Olympics, I'm watching them. I can't help it. I'm watching figure skating. I'm watching ice dancing. I'm watching curling. I'm watching the half pipe. I'm watching ski jumping. I'm doing all that stuff, Ant. I like it. Why don't you like it?
I just don't get into it, Mike. I think the Winter Olympics is it's just things that we don't normally see. I don't know. Like I watch the hockey. Obviously, I have to watch the hockey, and I'm not completely out on it. Like if it's on and I'm sitting there, I got nothing else on, and I'm watching. Okay, I'll check. I've never liked figure skating. Never liked it. Just never can't get into it.
I'm telling you, the ice dancing is pretty entertaining. The way the couples flow.
I see. You know what I don't like about it, Mike, is that I in competition, I don't like events where the winner is determined by judging.
Yeah.
I like it. To me, a sport, an athletic event should be determined in some form of mono competition, right?
I got you. But you know, the skill set, they've broken it down that you have to do a certain amount of skill. So it's almost like how NBA officials have broken down how they call games as how you judge on particular moves that are mandatory to do during your routine. And I think it makes it to judging a little fairer.
Yeah.
But there are some scandals. I want to talk about the scandals.
Yes. Although
let
me ask you about one event before we get to the scandals.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you about one event. So the luge. I'm watching. Yes. Right after
crazy.
hockey. Right after hockey was over yesterday, they had the luge on, and I don't mind. I kind of get it. Like that kind of interests me a little bit. The bobsled, the skeleton, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is the 2-person luge. Like, what does the second person do?
Break.
They just lay there. Like
the second person breaks, I think.
But they're just laying on the bottom of the sled.
Yeah.
And the other guy lays on top of them, and he does all the steering and whatever else. And
one steers and one breaks.
But all they do is break. They're just there.
Well, you need somebody to break, don't you?
Well, the single
you can't have a runaway luge,
right? The single loser breaks on their own. Like, I don't understand the second person. It's like you're laying on top of a dummy. It doesn't make any sense.
All right. The scandals. Some coach got sent home for alcohol
Did you see that?
abuse. I forget what country it was, but he got sent home for drinking too much. But the scandal that caught my eye was the Norway ski jumpers.
Yeah.
Injecting their penis with hyaluronic acid to plump them up to provide some kind of an advantage in the crotch area with the suit.
Yes. So there's from what I understand on this, Mike, is that your suit has to fit so tightly that they only allow for so much space.
Yes.
In the crotch area, right? Mm-hmm. For extra material. So they do the injections so that the suit fits they can wear a bigger suit because their junk is bigger. And then when it goes back down to normal size, there's the extra material that makes them more aerodynamic.
Wow, I don't know how more material can make you more aerodynamic. It would seem to me that the tighter you can get, the better it is.
It's the way you spread your legs out, right? And it creates that flapping material.
Like a parachute effect.
Yes.
Now I get it.
Yes.
I wonder if that hurts.
You're injecting your stuff.
I'm good.
Of course it hurts.
I don't need the hyaluronic acid here. All right, the other scandal, the guy who admitted cheating on his girlfriend. Did you read this?
Oh, what a story that is.
His name was Sturla Legrid, one of Norway's top biathletes. He won the gold, and he won bronze.
He won bronze.
Oh, he won bronze. I'm sorry. He won bronze. And then in an interview afterwards, he said, 6 months ago, I met the love of my life, the world's most beautiful, sweetest person. And 3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life and cheated on her. I'm sure many people now see me in a different light, but I only have eyes for her. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say by saying this now, but sport has taken a back seat in recent days. I wish I could share this with her. Whoa. Your thoughts on this, Anthony?
Well, first of all, and I'm glad that he addressed after the fact, Mike, and it wasn't in that initial interview, but afterwards he addressed the fact that his teammate won gold, and him having this emotional breakdown about his cheating on his girlfriend probably upstaged his teammate getting the gold medal. And so he kind of apologized for that.
Yeah.
But it was just first of all, it's outrageous to me that he's having this kind of emotional meltdown after dating a girl for 6 months.
Yeah.
If you felt you had to cheat on a girl after 3 months of a relationship, like why 3 months later are you so emotionally distraught? It's not like it's been that long, man.
He made a mistake. He got lured. By the enemy.
Yeah, but to be that distraught that you go on worldwide television, and say what you said. And did you see that she responded? She's not taking him back.
Yeah. Well, what did you expect?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's going for he's taking a Hail Mary attempt.
For him to win her back over, it'll take more time than just, him admitting on national TV. Crazy. And here's one thing that I wondered, and I hope like this is, I'm almost reluctant to say it, but the way the world has gone, with the ice dancing, it's male, female. I wonder if the LGBTQ faction has any opinion on this. In other words, have we reached the point where you could have 2 male ice dancers and 2 female ice dancers?
That's a good question.
I mean, that's the one thing I thought about. The world has gotten so politically correct that I wonder if there's lobbying to include just men doing that or just women doing that, the ice dancing.
All it would have to take, Mike, and you wouldn't have to make it a controversy, right? All it would have to take is create another category. And the third category would be same-sex pairs.
Yeah, but still, you're creating another category. That's still discriminatory. I think the people that want their rights as an LGBTQ would want their rights to compete against everybody.
Well, I get it, but the problem is, and this is where you get to this issue in sports all the time, is that there are certain things that men can do in sports that women can't, and vice versa. And so if you're going to sit there and say 2 men against a man and a woman, or 2 men against 2 women, is that fair? I don't, I guess you gotta weigh that.
There would have to be a weight restriction, I think, like a bigger guy, smaller guy,
or do you know what? Here's an answer for you. Maybe you could try it this way, like they do in diving in the Summer Olympics. Depending on the dives that you're doing, there is a difficulty score, like a difficulty that it's a multiplier, right? So maybe if it's two men, it has a certain multiplier versus if it's two women, right? So kind of, it's like a handicap in golf kind of thing, right? Like same thing. Maybe you throw something like that in there, and then it kind of levels the playing field, and then you can do it.
All right, let's get to another topic that's interesting, and we're gonna have to play the audio for this. You have that audio ready?
Oh yeah, I got it ready.
In our segment we call Quick Hitters, the NBA All-Star Game is this weekend. I actually like the USA versus the world. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But there was another idea put out there by Nick Wright of Fox Sports with he was on the Ringer podcast with Bill Simmons. And here's what he had to say about how he would change the All-Star Game.
How would you fix the game on Sunday? Well, is it fixable? Because I don't think it is.
It's fixable in 4 years if your guy Con Knippel continues on this trajectory. And we just have to say, you know what? PC headlines be damned.
I know where you're going.
White guys versus black guys. Luka, Joker, Flag, Reeves, Knippel against Wimby, whomever. And I'm telling you right now, guys would play fucking hard. Like that, there would be a real edge to the game.
Certainly would get a lot of talking points going.
Get a lot of attention, and we are getting close to a place where it'd be like, oh, that'd be a good game. Like there hasn't been a moment in the NBA in the last 50 years where if that ended up just by chance being the game, it would be you could see either team winning. But right now, like Cooper Flag and Con Knippel and Austin Reeves,
that would not be a good game. First of all, the white team wouldn't have depth.
Correct.
Like, you're talking about like 6-7 players that are of that caliber, right? They would get blown out anyway.
Yeah.
But the USA versus the world is a good viable option here.
I like it. I like the USA.
The American players hate the fact that Euros get a lot of attention. So I think this is going to be a really competitive game.
I do too, although I don't know. So here's the thing, Mike. How seriously do they take it, right? I mean, every year the NBA All-Star Game, it's like they take it seriously for the last 6 minutes. And that the first 42 is just...
Yeah. But again, this is the world versus the USA. It's USA pride. They've almost thrown an Olympic element into this.
Yeah, they're trying, but I still wonder how much they care. Like if you want to try and do something like the NHL did with the Four Nations last year and have like a weekend kind of, round robin thing for All-Star weekend, maybe you and have there be a prize, like some prize money that's on the line or something. Maybe, but then again, when you look at it, how much do they care about the in-season tournament, right? Like in the NBA.
Oh, I think they care about it. I think they play hard in that tournament.
Maybe. I don't see. I don't think there's enough there. I just think it's.
Listen, I like the idea, the white team versus the black team, but that's just foolhardy to think that could be a reality. But USA versus the world, I think that's going to be the start of many All-Star games like this. Yeah. All right, and I think we've exhausted all possibilities here. Did we miss anything today?
We didn't, but I have one thing I got to throw at you. It's not sports related, but I got to ask. Okay. So last weekend, my birthday is tomorrow. And
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And my last weekend, my wife took us. We got reservations at this restaurant down the shore that we love. It's really hard to get into in Atlantic City. Cafe 2825. If anybody ever wants to go, it's a tremendous restaurant. And then since we're in Atlantic City, we're down there for the night. Like, we'll go to the casino. So I'm sitting at a blackjack table, right, and playing blackjack for a little while. Mm-hmm. Guy comes over and he sits down at the table, and I think he's funny as hell. But he doesn't shut up. He is very, very entertaining, very funny in my mind. And I laugh at all the things that he's saying, but he's annoying the rest of the table. And they're getting frustrated with the guy. But he's betting and it's his money and whatever. And he's not saying anything. He's not being mean to anyone. He's just saying funny stuff about the cards, about the dealer, but he's loud. And it's annoying other people at the table. His right to keep playing that way. And
no, it's definitely his right to keep playing. It's my right to leave the table.
Correct. But if you're gonna keep sitting there, then you can't complain about it, right?
No, you can't complain. Listen, I don't like that either. I like to concentrate when I play blackjack, so I wouldn't want that guy. Like, he wouldn't amuse me at all. I would get up and walk away. I'd find another table.
Right.
Now a dealer, if you still want that business at that table, which I assume they want all the shoe filled.
Right.
I would think that maybe the dealer could say, "Hey, sir, can you tone it down a little bit? You're annoying some of the customers."
Yeah, but he was a regular. Like, the dealer knew him. He was whatever.
All right, no, I'm out. As soon as the guy gets loud, I'm out. I don't want to chat with anybody. I just want to, or like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
one last thing about that blackjack. So we're at the casino. I was at the Tropicana, and the table that I first sat down at, they're paying blackjack 6 to 5. 6 to 5.
Ah.
And I'm like, well, I was assuming the first half hour I was there that they changed all their blackjack tables to 6 to 5. Turns out not true. Just that one was 6 to 5.
Oh, really?
The other tables were all 3 to 2. And I'm thinking to myself, why?
Huh.
Like, what's the reason behind that?
Interesting. I don't know what the reason would be for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have a good night at the blackjack table?
Yeah, it was just kind of an even night. It wasn't.
I like to play down there. I like to play Pai Gow poker.
I'm not a big anything other than I don't like gambling much as far as table games other than blackjack and then poker. I like games where I have some semblance of control over outcome.
I hear you. Well, Pai Gow poker, you have control.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right. I think that'll do it for today's podcast. I'm Mike Missinelli. He's Anthony Sanfilippo. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And if you haven't picked that up or you just coming on, you can get it on all podcast networks. Right, Ann?
Absolutely. Amazon, Spotify, Apple, Pandora. But the best place is right here on YouTube.
Beautiful. Don't forget to tune in every week. Tell your friends and neighbors about the On Pattison Podcast with Mike Missinelli and Anthony Sanfilippo. Have a great rest of the night, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.